Welcome to the checkup with Zen and Guap. How's it going, Guap?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about you?
Doing all right. Hanging in there.
That's all we can ever do. Hang in there. Hang in there. There's this guy at work, literally every time someone goes, "How are you doing today?" He goes, "Better than we deserve," like in that accent too. So maybe we're doing better. Is John Rahm doing better than we deserve? Better than he deserves? I don't know. All right, how do I find your stream? Are you like zoned out right now? Can you hear me?
No, we're just messing with these beats.
Oh, okay. So you're actually. Oh.
All right, we're done with the intro. We could have made that a little bit better, but
you're introing me. I don't know what we're introing.
you were just talking over the.
I was
beat.
just rambling.
Yeah, you're just rambling over the beat, but no, that's fine. What I wanted to do though was go add in some tags here, and maybe it just jumpstart my DJ career.
I mean,
it's a solid beat. It's a solid beat when you go back and listen to it.
Okay, let me go to.
Because I didn't even.
The thumbnail is killing me.
Is it just my face?
Yeah, it's your face.
Okay, we can change that. Go golf ball. Let me edit this.
That's kind of tripping me out. Actually, I'm facing that way, huh? This hat is just crooked.
Visibility public playlist. This is going to the checkup playlist. Tags.
You fucking
PGA Tour Golf DFS. What kind of other tags?
DFS, degenerates, gambling,
review,
comedy,
Honda, classic, funny, golf,
comedy, Joe Rogan,
tutorial,
aliens,
his face. Okay.
Okay. So now, yeah, go ahead. What are we starting with?
All right. So let's go over last week's tournament. Our picks looks like, if I remember correctly, you chose Oma to win.
No, I had
second place.
I had Homa top. I think I chose JT. I had Homa and who the fuck else?
Let me just scroll up.
You were gonna have to dive deep into the chat.
It's not that far. Let's see here. How about Tiger handing JT that tampon?
That man, you want to when I first saw it, I was like, "Is that real?" Like, what he did that on Thursday, like the first day.
Yeah, I think he was ready for it because he knew his swing speed was so high that he was going to outdrive somebody.
It's kind of nuts.
Roy came out and put less loft on his driver the next day because he was sick of it.
Yeah, and he switched the stealth too. So you had Spieth winning.
Yep, you did have JT winning, and then Scheffler, Homa top 5, and then
so Scheffler wasn't top 5.
Zala, Rahm. Where did Zala end up finishing last week?
He was top 10.
I feel like he flirted with the top 5 for a second there. Genesis Invitational. Let's see the.
He was 4th.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that top 5. That was a good.
So top 5 you got 3 or you got 2 in there.
Both my top 5.
Spieth is nowhere to be found.
Spieth missed the cut, so that kind of evens that out. One of your top 5, one of your 3 people are in there, so that's good. This week will be a lot tougher to get that.
JT and Scheffler all made the cut. Scheffler is tied for 12th. Justin Thomas is 200, tied at 20th.
Yeah, he just had a mediocre week.
Yeah, it's Yeah. What do you think? I mean, I was thinking about this. I'm like, and I was talking to one of my buddies, the golf training guy. It's like, how does 180 ball speed? That's like tour average, right? Tour average is like 170, 180. I think the guys like Bryson,
Is
they're
that ball
going
speed or swing speed?
no ball speed. Swing speed's only like 120, 110. So it's yeah, tour average is about 171.
Okay.
Um Cameron Champ 188. Cameron Champ normally leads all those distance things. He just can't put a round together. But one of these days, if he did, he'd be pretty nutty. You have any other takeaways from it, or what do you think?
I'm not surprised Rom won. He got really lucky on that one bounce. People are still they're saying it's like the luckiest shot of the year and things like that. Off
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's
he was
golf,
like
right?
I in fact did not call bank. People were
Yeah,
wondering.
yeah, yeah. No, he was not trying to do that.
Yeah, that was kind of funny, but I
Um,
mean, tough course, low scoring.
I'll give you credit. You were on Cantley. I was kind of back seeing him. I haven't seen him do much this whole season, but you were bringing his name up a little bit. I think you played him, didn't you?
I brought him up the last day because I thought he was a good cash game play,
Okay, okay.
but I lost every cash game lineup I did. Probably won't play cash again. But my tournament lineups actually didn't do bad. I think I ended up profiting like $5.
How do
Just
those cash lineups work this Sunday? It's
oh,
just
they're
you
just
just
head to
pick.
head. You just pick them, but
Oh,
like
you
I
just.
didn't realize they were still weighted the first second. They still weighted what they placed, and I was like, that's why
Oh,
everyone
oh,
just chose the cheap people
Rom.
that were
Yeah,
doing well,
yeah.
and it
Like
ended up working out.
Thigala.
Like yeah, and then Svesen and I don't know. I I went heavy on some really cheap guy who just didn't have a very good day. Kind of screwed me over. And I think I went and got some what's his name? Tony Finau. I thought he was gonna have a
Mm,
good day. I thought he had a chance of going low, but I don't think he was a cash game play, which I shouldn't even be messing with cash. I feel like all the articles I read were just about tournaments.
yeah, DFS. Yeah. Um, but I wonder. I would. I'm gonna check it out this Sunday. Look at him a little bit just to see what it is. Because yeah, I mean, you could randomly have one of those really cheap guys. I guess to make that Sunday like we were talking about last week. Like he has nothing to play for. He's not going to win. He's probably not going to get top five, but if he could sneak into the top 10, because you get a lot of ties and stuff like that. Um, yeah. What did you see after interview Homa? You see him crying.
No, I didn't see him crying.
It's like it comes like I hate to compare it, but I mean you got to like I just don't think like if you have Tiger, then Liv just doesn't stand a chance. Then you got these guys like this is a bad week for Liv because well it's a good week I guess because they just started, but they're coming off full swing just came out and he basically just bashes the Liv
Well,
tour the whole
spoiler
time.
alert. Spoiler alert.
No,
You're
I
just
mean
coming in
everyone.
here and you're just citing. I
Okay,
noticed some things like you're just citing like, oh yeah, Fitzpatrick won whatever tournament last year. It's like, yeah, you got that off the. You wouldn't
no,
have known that. You wouldn't have known that if you didn't like watch the
I
highlights.
knew he won
Off the
the
top of your
Open
head, like you can just name all four people that won major. I can name like
last.
two of them now.
Well, I mean
That's what I
now
know.
it's easier.
Yeah, exactly.
Masters is Scheffler. I might be
And
able to
then
do it the year before.
okay, okay, we don't need a history lesson here.
It was Matsuyama won the Masters that year, though.
Yeah,
And Rom won the U.S. Open.
I think it's. I don't like how. I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't like how they jump around timelines. Like,
My buddy said the same thing. He was like, "Why are they?" I'm like, to me, I kind of like. I initially had that thought, and I was just like, "Whatever." Like, I get it. Like, how can you cover? It's like you could just do multiple episodes on the same tournament. You would have to do them chronologically. And it's okay. Oh, now we're on to the
I
next
think.
fucking.
I think they would just want to follow the player.
Yeah,
And
exactly. I think that's what it was, right? It seemed like they just followed a few guys around,
and you can tell when they're interviewing the parents and stuff that it was like after a win, even before they win the tournament. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
You're like, yeah, I kind of saw that coming because you guys were so like
Well,
happy
did you
talking.
finish it?
No, I'm on
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the
So we
last
don't
one
need
I
it. Yeah,
watched was about Tony Finau, and then like for all the listeners out there, we're gonna spoil it for him too. So you got to think about like spoiler alert.
yeah, yeah. There's no, we don't need to spoil it. But what I was just saying, Homa, what'd you think? I mean, that's what
I
I was getting
thought
into.
I thought he was gonna have a good day. I thought he had a good chance of winning, and he just didn't put a round together. You got to make putts. You got to
I
hit
mean,
shots.
even back nine, Rom like bogey twice, and then Homa
They
was
were
right there.
tied. They were
Yeah, they were
tied at one
tied for a
point.
few holes. I think he might have got up a stroke, and it ended. Rom just kind of. They both started spraying it a little bit. Then Rom got back under control. Down the stretch, and that's really what it was. Homa started spraying.
And
He,
yeah, I
he
mean,
got. I don't know if that's nerves, but it's just a tight track too.
it is. It's just one of those things that will just they'll punish you. The rough. What was the name
Mm-hmm.
of the rough?
I don't know. Kikuya,
Kikuya grass,
uh,
just catching people.
Poa. Poa was the greens, right?
I don't know,
um.
but
Either way,
if I had a dime for each time I heard Kikuya this weekend, I would have won more than I won in DFS this week.
you should have played that over under
The over
Kikuya
under on
prop
Kikuya,
bet.
yeah.
I don't know. And that course too, like you go left or right, like you might not have an angle at the hole because they got those fucking giant trees running along each fairway. You got to
Yeah.
you're gonna have to shape your shot, do some, sometimes you can, sometimes those guys can, they are pros, but sometimes it just doesn't happen.
So, what are your key takeaways from last week?
Um, I mean, takeaways, I gotta look at Rom. I mean, he's just on a tear. This dude is balling out. I mean, there's nothing else to say. And I hate it because people are going to start doing those. Well, he's winning on the same click like Tiger did. It's like, look, it's beginning of the year.
Do
No
you
one's
hear that
Tiger.
narrative a lot?
Oh, they're going to. I've already heard it. I heard they had a short of a foreplay. The foreplay guys, the Barstool guys that do golf, they post their podcast shorts all the time. And sure enough, it was like Dan Rappaport even was saying
I
it.
think I think once we get into this business, that's what we have to do. We have to sit here and compare everyone to Tiger and talk
Well,
about
it's
Tiger.
just he just
Like
ruined
our thumbnail
golf.
should just be Tiger Woods. And people are like, okay, I have to click on it because it's Tiger.
Honestly, that's
instead
a
of
great
me
idea.
when I'm 22 years old.
Homa can play. There's a few other interesting things. I mean, Morikawa, Zalatoris. I think these guys at the top.
They're all professional golfers that
Zalatoris. Yeah, and I think it's going to be a pretty interesting year with these designated events. These guys got to be going to more events, but I mean, Zalatoris is right back there. The guy just stripes the ball, dude.
Okay, so one of my things when I was watching Full Swing was like, this is a key takeaway from Full Swing. Spoiler alert. How they heckle people. Like when they showed the clips of the crowd heckling Matt Fitzpatrick.
Oh yeah.
They're like Skechers Matt, or like I don't even know like what they're yelling.
Yeah, they're just clowning on him. And then he like two putted. They showed him, right?
Yeah, and then he's like he hits it onto the bunker. They're like on the beach.
Yeah. Because that was the U.S. Open. They didn't want him to win it.
The thing is like when you look at like someone like Matt Fitzpatrick or some other people on tour, you can tell that like it kind of gets to them. They're not.
Oh, for sure.
They're not socially adept to be able to handle all that attention and people making fun of them. It's gonna just go right to their head, and that's what they're thinking about instead of like.
I mean, they're golfers. Think about it. These guys played in probably all of them played in high D1 collegiate tournaments, and there probably was not even nearly the crowd, especially when Tiger's in town this week, But there's not these type of crowds. I mean, they're still going to quiet them down before you hit, right? but
Yeah.
that doesn't stop 2 holes away. Someone just drains a long birdie, and they start yelling.
I mean, that's not a problem. I think they can easily zone that out. It's more
Like
of
the
just people
heckling.
talking shit to them.
Well, it's kind of nuts too, because like golf, like you get pretty close to the fucking guys.
Yeah, and
Like,
they like I could only imagine some of the things that they just say, and like they don't just turn around to like, hey, can you kick this guy out, or like how many people get kicked out for just like
I
saying
remember
very
he like
obnoxious things.
didn't he get lost like in on the U.S. Open? Like they like kind of lost him because Matt Fitzpatrick just looks like a normal little dude. Because everyone was like
Oh
going to
yeah.
Rory's shot.
Or like
Um,
if you hit your ball into the crowd. I noticed that like Rory was like jumping up, like trying to wave his caddy down, like I'm over here in
yeah,
a
yeah,
giant in the middle of a giant crowd.
yeah.
But
It's like they
no,
need more security.
I had one like golf tournament in high school where this kid
Hmm.
started talking shit because like I think I told you this before where like we had to wait for him. We had to wait for the group ahead of us to get onto the green, and it was like a over 400-yard par four. And we're all like we all hit our drives, and this one guy was like, "No, I don't feel comfortable. I gotta wait." And then he duffs at 50 yards, and I'm like, "I'm glad we waited." And then I go up to mine, which wasn't like, I mean, I probably like pole hooked mine on the right side of the fairway, so I had like a
Yeah,
3 iron into the green, and I just like shank it. And then he's like, "Nice shot."
yeah.
And then I'm like walking to my ball, and the marshal comes up to me because he probably just saw me hit that shot, and he's like, "Hey, you guys got to hurry it up." And I'm like, "We just were waiting on the tee for this guy to hit his tee shot."
Yeah, it's like no shit, Sherlock. We
I'm
gotta
like, "You got to
hurry
go
up.
talk to yeah." Anyways, that still sticks with me because I'm still kind of mad at that whole situation. Like the marshal comes talks to me after all that. It's like, no, that wasn't my fault. Like, yeah, I just hit a terrible shot, but
Yeah,
it can be golf's a real mental game is what I was really getting at here.
yeah.
And
No,
I feel like I was on my key takeaway this week. I was underweighting recent form. I think that's real important this week, especially when
wait.
we
Say that
are
again.
recent form.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh no, our meeting's gonna end in 10 minutes. Need more
Wait,
time? Look at that. That was a very noob thing. We're just gonna have to make a new meeting
no
in 10
way.
minutes
Why does it say upgrade?
because we need Zoom Pro to
It
have
does look
unlimited
better though.
meetings. Yeah, it does look a lot better. Like we're just gonna have to make a new meeting. And
Like
like
continuously every 10 minutes.
no, no, no. I mean, how long has this meeting been going on for? Like I think it's 45 minutes we get.
Gotcha.
At least
Nah.
the fans.
Wow.
I'll just play some music in between while we're setting it up. DJ's in.
So yeah, recent forms. What were you saying?
Yeah, so recent form I feel like is my key takeaway. And it's going to be real important this week having a bunch of people who tend to be a little bit streaky. We don't have the big names playing this week. And we're gonna have to draw a line somewhere and what we're gonna look at.
No one's fucking
We got
playing,
Sung
bro.
J M. I'm not sure. I don't really I haven't I thought I liked Sung J M last week. This week he's like the most expensive guy on DraftKings, and he's the most favored to win at 10-1. Last week I got Rom at 8-1. So I'm surprised he's such a big favorite. I don't like to play. I think M isn't gonna crack top 10 because it's just gonna
Really?
be so random. Like how can he like he just was mediocre last week, and just because he's a little bit better of a name in a field where there's just a bunch of randos, like anybody can shoot 5 under. And I'm not surprised when Shen JM pulls in 2 under. He makes a cut.
He kind of
And
balls out at random tournaments though. And he ranks I mean, obviously he's probably the highest ranked player, right? So he's gonna have the highest ranked strokes gained, tee to green, strokes gained total.
is that what you think? Strokes gained, tee to green. He has the best.
Yeah. This week. I like Sung J-M. He could ball. He just hasn't he just doesn't put it together. He hasn't put it together in major tournaments, but he'll like flirt around there. I think. I mean, who? It's kind of like it's like you said. It's such a fucking rando week. Like, yeah, 10-1. Shane
He
Lowry
is
18-1.
T
Then
agreed.
they
He is
have
second place.
yeah. Then they have Minwoo Lee, and like Minwoo Lee, like he's in on an exemption. He hasn't been playing good golf lately. But he's a bigger name because he's like a YouTube cat.
Yeah. So I don't think Tee to Green is the stat to look for today or this week.
Really?
I think we have to look more at approach and like.
Yeah, probably. This course is tough. It's like
You have
it
to
doesn't.
be. There's so much like hazards, water hazards. So it's going to be all about the approach shots and making sure you're in safe. You're in like a safe position off the tee in order to have a good shot. That's why Kuchar. I kind of like Kuchar this week.
Yeah.
Because you saw how he did last week. He was playing pretty well. Irons. It's like really about iron play this week. And there's okay. That's another thing. There's only 2 par 5s, par 70. Only 2 par 5s this week. So
yeah, no. Typically they score lower. What's it? The Bear Cave or the?
It's like one of the tougher. Like the 15, 16, 17 are the toughest 3 holes on the tour.
Yeah. What do they call it? The Bear Cave, right? Or the Bear Claw?
What is that called? It's called something. I guess I know that. Give me 1 second. Let me look through my resources here. Let's see.
Bear Trap. It's a Bear Trap.
The Bear Trap.
So 15 of 18 holes have water.
That's why like driving accuracy is super important. I kind of feel like it's like almost taking the same narrative as last week because the rough was so awful, but that just like brought in a bunch of other you never know whose putter is gonna decide to work.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and this course it's just a tough track. Like even if you were a winner here, there's plenty. I was looking up. It's like plenty of dudes that have won here. They've missed cuts here too.
Yeah, and it's just and
this is the last Honda Classic. They're finding a new sponsor for this tournament, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah.
Last Honda Classic. They're gonna turn to Toyota Classic. The rival, bottom out.
Toyota. Is there a Toyota tour? I don't think so.
Toyota? Nah, it's Honda. Honda was like, we got this. We got these Japanese made cars.
You like, yeah, I mean, who else do you like? So you're out on Eam, Sung Jae Eam.
I just think it's not that I don't think he could do well. He can definitely do well. That's kind of what I was getting at. Is like you said, people miss cuts and then people win. So especially like DFS mind, gambling mind, it'd be better just got to go long shot. Pick the high variance plays. Either they miss the cut or they're gonna get top 5.
Yeah, I mean, I like some of these older guys too to get you some decent points here.
You just gotta find the people that can ceiling. That's really what I'm going after. Which
Padraig Harrington, super risky. I like him this week.
And that's why I don't like Sung Jae Im. It's just because he's too chalky. He's too chalky for me this week in such a random week where anybody can really go off.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that.
I'd rather go down to I kind of like Shane Lowry a little bit more because he's not going to be as owned as Im. And
what does it say on your thing? Did it say?
The ownership percentages?
Yeah.
He's just less. He's like 15% less owned. And that's a lot. I'm getting more used to the ownership percentages, and that's another takeaway of last week is I was way too overexposed to people that were they had low ownership projection, and I would just be 30% on them, and they were like 1 to 5%, and I was just I had so much leverage on them, and then they would just miss the cut and screw me over when I could be just as exposed, say be 15%, 10%. Owned. So like double or
Yeah,
triple the
yeah,
field, and then
for
I'm able
sure.
to diversify my portfolio, especially with these high
Yeah,
variance.
missing a cut is just so big. You need to make cuts.
Yeah,
You
I only
need
had
your
one
guy.
lineup. Only one
Yeah.
lineup out of 20 make it through. This week, gonna play in the mini max 150 entry and the birdie. So and setting my lineups to not have over 70% ownership, like projected ownership. So that should help me to be a little bit different. And this week, either I'm gonna do really well or gonna shit the bed. Like kind of like how
Well,
every tournament week
yeah,
is.
yeah, especially with golf.
And you're mostly, yeah, not doing well.
Um, yeah, I could see somebody like so. I like Svensson, Adam Svensson. He's playing decent of late. Or last week, he played pretty good. FedEx Cup player last year. Probably, I don't think he's. Who are the top ranked players in this? It's Eam, Lowry, and
I mean, if we would go by
there's
strictly
only like
salary,
three in
Eam,
top like
Lowry,
100 or
Kirk,
something like that.
Horschel, Lee,
Yeah, those guys. I don't Minwoo
Kuchar.
Lee being that high is kind of nuts to
Kuchar
me.
is like super expensive this week. So I'm
Yeah,
just
I
matching the
would.
field on him. It's
Okay.
kind of mine. And it's like a lot of people that did well last week are just boosted up and they get
Warner,
higher
yeah.
ownership. And it's just that's my time to fade them. You want to, especially with like GPPs, you gotta pick the people that are lowering in price, less ownership, and that's the time to buy. Buy low, and we're gonna sell them high,
What
right
you
when we win
got?
that tournament.
You got any like sleepers?
So the sleepers I kind of went with is like Russell Knox. Um, I forget exactly what I was doing today. I think I was looking at recent form. I was really filtering. So like when I was making my model, I started weighting more heavily on like ceiling, recent form, par fours was a real important one. Uh-oh. New Zoom. Okay. So unfortunately, we just lost guap. We gotta make a new meeting. So give me a second here while I create a new meeting and invite guap to it. And while he's joining, we'll start again with the music. He's still not joining, so we're gonna keep jamming out here. I can show you guys what I'm doing here. Oh, you can't really see the top. For some reason, guap doesn't feel like joining. There's a passcode. Let's see here. What is my passcode? All right, we gotta. Okay, so there's a passcode, unfortunately. And just leave this. Little technical difficulties here. Give us a second. And we should be. There we go. All right. We're back. Guap, you still there?
Yeah, yeah. You got me.
Yep. You're interrupting the great music.
That damn.
You don't even know. You don't even know what kind of beats I'm dropping here.
This check.
The check. That's gonna be the intro.
Well, that's what you're gonna do. I like that. What just
We'll
happened?
get some little scratching in there.
The bear trap.
Check up.
There was one guy I was looking at. It's his, I think, first tournament. Maybe he's been on a tear. Corn Ferry Cootie. Did you see that guy?
Has he been on a tear?
Pearson Cootie. No, he won a tear on. He's won like 3 times on the Corn Ferry. Kind of giving me like Zalatoris type vibes. He has a twin brother. His grandpa was a pro golfer for years. He won a Masters.
All right. Is this full swing? Spoiler alert.
No,
you're just. I feel like you just.
no.
Okay. How do you know all this then?
Just
Just.
so I'm a golfer, bro.
All right. No, that's cool.
Rookie to look out for. Fairly cheap. Pearson Cootie.
Let's see his.
I guarantee he won't be owned. I mean, that guy makes
a
cut 68. For you.
He's at 6,800. Let's see how his recent par fours has been. That's kind of like what my main. That's pretty good. You might be onto something here. That Cootie play.
I mean, that's a deep dive, but I could see.
I think he's just high
doing
variance.
Some damage.
Looks like he's high birdie, high bogey type guy, and if he could just knock off those bogeys.
Hey.
But like,
who knows?
The
those
sample
guys
size is super small.
Super small, but he has 3 wins on the Corn Ferry. I mean, those guys can play. They be putting up numbers. I don't know if it's to this course. It's gonna be tough.
That's another good point you're making. Might be his first time playing this course, and think about all the people that have experience playing this course, so they kind of know what they're getting into, and these other guys are just like they're about to just play a really tough course, possibly tough conditions. I mean, that's another stat you can look at is like how people do in tough conditions, like these types of courses, and some people gain strokes on the field.
Really,
faced with adversity.
I like that. It's a good stat.
Yeah,
good
it's
stat to know.
Good stat to know. And I think Lowry is like one of the.
Is he
one of the top people?
I mean, I think you go him or Lowry as your kind of top guy, your anchor, right?
Yeah, but that's a pretty good value player. I'm not sure where you pulled out that name, but nice.
Cootie. Chris Kirk, I don't know a lot about him, to be honest.
I guess people like him this week.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I know Min Woo Lee, like he's a baller. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's won a PGA event. He's won like it was like the Golf World Championship. Like not all the PGA tours play it. He's Australian too. So he's on exemption. There's a couple other guys on exemption. I don't. And then I mean, you got. So what about the winner last year? No one's even like everyone's just cool off him.
Who's the winner from last year?
Straka.
Shaka.
No, Straka.
Sep. He is pretty expensive. I mean,
Austria. I'm telling you, I like Padraig Harrington, bro. He's 1 year before back in the day. He won. I think I read this is an article I read. He got his tour card. No. No, so that was Svensson. So like I said, I like Adam Svensson. Earned his PGA Tour Or he Corn Ferry Tour Q School Finals. He won by 7 strokes in 2015,
Oh,
and he's won here. Has he won here before? No, but okay. So Padraig Harrington, I like him. Older guy. Him and Furyk are actually being talked about being inducted to like the Golf Hall of Fame. So maybe he gets a little juice from that. One back in 2015.
so was it Parker Cootie or Pearson Cootie?
Pearson Parker's a twin brother.
Wait, really? We got twins in here?
Yeah. He was like a Texas. He went to Texas. He's like a college, like fucking, like a Spieth, bro, coming out of Texas.
Coming out of Texas. So maybe he can only play Texas courses like Spieth.
Maybe, those are the only times he's won recently. Spieth went on a tear though early in his career.
Yeah,
Which
he
was
did.
nuts.
It seems like people just get hot and like that's their only time to shine.
Dude, that's
Except
golf.
Tiger did that. Except Tiger did it for 15 years. Everyone else can only do it for like 2.
I'm telling you, Tiger ruined it for everybody. He just did.
It's crazy.
What all those
What
stats you're looking at?
What I'm looking at is like I filtered for par 4 recent form, and like everybody's just super on those players. Like the leverage is really bad.
Really?
For the type of player they are. They're like, which basically means based on their ceiling or points per
because
dollar.
none of these guys are like good players. They're not like top guys.
There's just not that many good leverage plays this week because I think just based off the algorithm and the way it's set up for point per dollar and like ownership, it's just I listened to this one guy last week and he made a good point. It's like think about it. Think about buying, let's say, who's the third wide receiver on the Niners?
Jennings.
Think about drafting Jennings. Let's just say drafting Jennings versus drafting Justin Jefferson. Who's going to have the better day? Almost 99 out of 100 times.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to happen pretty much anytime, and it's not even close. Then now let's look at golf. How often do you think the worst ranked golfer in this tournament can outscore the best ranked golfer?
The worst ranked? I don't know.
Like the worst.
So you're trying to say it's a less of a chance, or
it's
more of a chance?
Exactly.
I would say slightly more.
No. I would say 33%. 33% of the time, this guy, whoever is the last ranked guy, will outscore him. And let's even look at on the first round who outscores him and what their rank is, because it's likely it's going to be pretty bad. And just based off that, like how diverse it is and how anybody can just outshoot the best ranked guy in the day versus like football or the best ones. I mean, yeah, JJ can put up a 0 or put up a 5, but those receivers that barely get any targets just have no chance to compete with them.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you were looking at the. I mean, we said the disclaimer last week. Like, we obviously have no idea what we're talking about, but two is more so this week. Like, I could literally, like, I'm throwing a dart.
That's why I don't want to sit here and just name off names. Like, any of these guys can really go off. It's mostly just like, what are good stats to look for, and like, honestly, I just read off. I mean, I've read some articles. I have no idea how this course plays, but it sounds like you need some good iron play.
You need to be on your shit.
You don't pull a what's his name?
I like this guy, Aaron Rai, RAI, ranked 8th in driving accuracy and 11th in strokes gained tee to green this past week at Riviera. Though he lost some strokes to his fast stick.
What's the guy's name?
This is Aaron, RAI. He's now made the cut in 9 of 12 starts. Began his PGA debut last year here. And he's finished tied for 66. So he didn't play well, but
Aaron
9 of 12 cuts. He's putting up points. This could be a sneaky guy. He's actually kind of expensive, 7,700.
He is pretty expensive, and strokes gained on par 4, not looking too good for him either.
I could see and I'm even looking at look at a Danny Willett. I that guy. I think you're looking for a guy that's gonna make the cut. Those
Willett.
Yeah, Danny Willett. I think you'll see his name, especially when there's not a lot of guys playing. I think
Tee to green, so he has good driving actually. I think.
And then I'm going Harrington, and then I'm going OG guys this time. I would say Harrington, Zach Johnson.
Zach Johnson, he's super OG. I wonder why he's just chilling in there. Like he won what?
Well, that's what they'll do. They'll play these because all the doper dudes are out, so I have a chance. Dude, there is a little thought process in that. When you're a guy, I know how you just said that stat about the lower guy. That can't happen in golf. That can.
But there's happen all the time in golf.
I don't know. They even bro, some of these guys are just chill.
I mean,
they know what they are.
Think about how many people did better than Justin Spieth last week. Think about how many of those people were worse ranked than him by a lot.
Yeah, but was Spieth favored? He was up there.
I mean, I'm just talking about world ranking, like top 10 in the world, guy that's ranked 150th in the world.
I'm just saying, you're going bottom of the tier guys. They probably aren't beating Spieth. I'm just saying there is those guys.
I could easily go find somebody that's
hang around,
ranked higher than 125 in the world last week. That made the cut in that Genesis tournament.
Oh, I'm not doubting that.
Okay,
but I'm okay. But that was the only point I'll tell you where you can't find that guy's name in one of your lineups. Right.
Okay.
That's the odds. So now we're saying the odds of picking that guy.
Let's look at one of the guys I drafted. I was all over.
Actually, how many lineups did you do?
I only did 20, but
holy.
Let's see this one guy. I was all over this one guy who was Lucas Glover, ranked 117, made the cut. I drafted him. So it's not that tough. Especially this week, I'm definitely gonna have some random people.
But I mean, Glover has been around. He's a guy. He's
stop fighting me on this. Guy. It's more likely for the worst ranked person to be able to compete. The line is just so much closer, and that's why getting off, especially in large field tournaments, getting off the chalkier, expensive people and just getting someone right next to them really is not gonna hurt you that much, especially if you have good logic behind it based on whatever metrics you decide.
I mean, the fact that you're whispering logic into any of this is beyond me, but yeah.
The fact that you want to sit here and not put in logic?
There is no logic to it. Basically, you saying a top ranked guy. I mean, think about it. Like you said, the top ranked guy is closer to the line of the bottom tier PGA Tour. There's no fucking logic in that.
It's not okay. It's just I'm talking about just variance here. Consistently over time, the better ranked player will produce better average scores. However, any given Sunday, this guy could show up, go low, and beat that guy.
Yeah, this week you're gonna see names up there that nobody fucking.
Now it's just it's not. There's not as big of a discrepancy this week from the top guy to the bottom guy. That's why I don't really like him, how chalky he is, because the bottom guy is really not that far away.
Yeah.
Versus when there's bigger names.
Yeah, this week.
This week. We're talking about this week.
You start throwing Rahm out there, then it's all right.
We're checking up on this week.
Or Scotty Scheffler, then it's
but it's still a chance versus the Justin Jefferson example, where he gets 10 targets a game versus a guy who gets half a target on average.
Hey, Jennings still has a chance.
What about the backup? What about the? Yeah, you're missing the point here. It's more likely.
No, I'm getting the point. It's just a dog shit point. I mean,
no, it's not. It's not. It's a very reasonable point. Maybe I'm just not articulating it to the best of my ability. But
either way, in these things, if you want to win, you need to damn near pick the winner.
you
Like that's
have to
gonna
pick the
help you.
winner, especially
Like
if the winner is going to be less than 7,500.
like maybe it's like, I mean, come on, Aaron Wise. We're gonna pick these guys just because they're fucking into Markle. I just read this
Who?
week's nuts. That's what I'm saying.
I
Charlie
don't know.
Hoffman.
We're getting
Maybe
real. We're getting real fired up here about this. About
this.
this
I'm
one.
getting fired up about Charlie Hoffman right now.
Charlie Hoffman. Let's tell me about Charlie Hoffman. What do you like about him?
Um he he's been asked recent years.
Okay.
Um but he's just one of those guys. He pops up out of nowhere.
7,300.
Phoenix Open, he
Well
started
owned.
playing a little better. I actually saw his name kind of toward. I mean, I don't think. I don't. What did he finish at the Phoenix Open? Yeah, eight
Phoenix.
under. He just could like randomly ball out. He went
When
on a
was the
run
Phoenix? That was
2 weeks ago.
okay.
Waste management.
Oh, that's what that is.
He probably didn't have a Genesis invite.
Missed cut percentage 41%.
Yeah, he's like. What I'm saying, like
He's just one of the random people that
he could go in there, pop off.
you're right. He could. The more I look at this, the more I don't really like.
It's gonna be a random fucking.
It's gonna be
my
random,
thing is
how,
though I'll start an Eam or a Lowry just because it's like, I mean, in case, even if they don't, they're still, even if you didn't win, say you got like top 10, it's like, I don't know. Eam's like one of those guys. It's like McCaffrey on a certain day. It's like you might as well just start because you know everybody's going to start him. He might go off. I mean, he could just go. That's the thing with golf. It's like, yeah, he could just go shit the bed. Like I feel you. But I just think he's gonna pop off.
I think people are a lot closer than just shit in the bed. That was my point. I feel like that's more I'm getting like you don't understand what I was getting at. Like, yeah, they could miss the cut. And same with top ranked players. Like, yeah, they can miss the cut as well. Less likely, definitely. But any given day, any of these players can outshoot the top guy. They have all probably shown it in their
Yeah,
career.
you miss a cut, you're just done. And that, I mean, yeah, no, you're right. That could happen to anybody.
But will they keep doing it? That's why it's odd. And that's why I was trying to play cash because I guess when people that aren't very good go low, people over own that guy the next day. So I was trying to do that and not own that guy. And didn't work out for me. Because somebody shot like 7 under, I think it was McCarthy last week. And that's why he's very expensive this week. You know who I'm talking about? Denny McCarthy. He's like over $9,000 this week. And I think it's because of that one round that he put up. And he's super like over owned.
64.
I'm kind of staying away from that.
Yeah, I mean,
he has decent odds to win.
Kuchar, huh? That's your guy?
No. The more I look at it, the more I think about it.
This
I
week's
kind of want to
be
be
random
underowned.
as fuck, bro. This week's gonna be so fucking random.
I'm gonna be underowned on Kuchar. Underowned on M. And then just hopefully by doing that, it sets me up in other spots where like Moronic. I like Moronic just based off the leverage. I'm doing a bunch of leverage plays. And then just M will probably
I'm about to just do a live tour.
You know, we can't speak the unspoken name of Liv in this this forum. You're gonna get us banned off YouTube.
What the PGA? There's like it's probably because this week there just isn't a whole lot of like cheaper tournaments. Like everybody's just.
You can hop in that 50 cent with me. 150 max.
What is this?
All right. Before we get too far into that, let's break this down. Who do you got winning this thing?
Winning.
Wops guarantee.
So we're doing what, winning, and then
We're gonna do winning, then 2 people in the top 5.
okay. So I mean, winning. Fuck. I'm gonna go with Adam Svensson.
Svensson,
Just
the
throwing it
German. No,
randomly
I don't
out
know if
there.
he's German. It sounds like
He's Canadian.
okay.
I think I'm just gonna. I mean, this is how random I think it's be. I think that's my winner, and then
Svensson.
I think Eames gonna be top 5. Fuck. And then I'll throw a Podrick Harrington in there. Podrick Harrington, Eam, Svensson winning. That's my picks.
Harrington top 5. Honestly, if
If that goes
Svensson
to the
wins this,
top 5,
you know the odds of Svensson winning this.
oh, it's probably nuts.
Vegas has him at a. Where is he?
I got it right here.
We have him at 3.4%.
35 to 1.
Yeah, that sounds about right. They bet $10 to win 350. Wins.
Hey, golf is like the sickest, just odds.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the sickest odds.
Okay, and then let's see here. Me, I like I like winning this thing.
Wow, you didn't have your picks ready to roll?
No, I mean I kind of know who I'm like overexposed on based on like leverage things, but I kind of want to get these right. I'm just trying to think of like who my winning's a tough one. I'll go Dietrich. Dietrich wins.
Wow.
And then I got Griffin in the top 5.
Dietrich, Griffin.
And then Kirk.
Kirk, huh?
That's what I like this week.
Okay.
And again, it's just based off the things I was mentioning before. But like, what I'm more focused on this week when I'm making lineups is just the depth and kind of randomness, like you were kind of saying, and setting my models up in a way where it will try to pick people that like par fours, approach, recent form, being more heavyweight on recent form than last week versus like total long-term adjusted score or something like that. So hopefully one of my 150 lineups just spits out a winner. I can come up here, hold my trophy up.
Where's the 5 cents?
Make WAP say, okay, Zen, you are in fact a DFS god.
I shouldn't have questioned
you.
Shit.
And we'll gain 1,000 followers. So people will be like, oh, we just gotta listen to Zen. He threw down a podcast, said his thought process, and then won it. Shipped it, huh? And we're just gonna have a Tiger Woods thumbnail, and everyone will click on it because they're like,
that's it. That's Tiger all Woods. I'm telling you what, Tiger Woods thumbnail. I'm clicking. I don't even know what it is. I'm clicking it. It could be fucking some weird shit behind that hyperlink. Weird.
So, what kind of tournaments you're entering? Making some lineups right now?
Yeah, I only did a few. I don't have all that cash on here. Like I said, it's like all these lineups are like fucking gone. The golf classic.
You optimized?
Couple $5 entries. Oh, I'm so fucking optimized. You have no idea.
You should be after listening to my picks.
I'm telling you, I'm going with like random older fucking dudes this tournament.
Random people with experience. I mean, that's a pretty good. That's not a bad way to go. I did went and add some exposures while you were mentioning some of those names. I was like, I don't mind being exposed to these people, like Cootie and what have you. There's a couple of people
Cootie is like
I was
that's
looking
like a
at it and I was
shot in the
like,
dark.
those are pretty good. I like because they're high variance.
Yeah, like
I like the people
nobody's
that
gonna
could
be
just
playing Cootie, bro. He's kind of
exactly.
expensive though.
What is he at?
6,800.
I think just because he has those accolades on
Yeah, his grandpa.
the web tour. I want to call it the web tour, the Corn Ferry tour. That's how old school I am.
Web.com.
Yeah,
It used to be the Nike.
really. Then Tiger went and was promiscuous and had to drop the Nike name from golf.
Yeah.
No. In all fairness, Nike still has a pretty positive outlook, and
All
I have
fairness,
no.
they never left Tiger.
In all fairness, they didn't need to. But let's not get into that. Let's not get political here. We're gonna generate some buzz on Twitter. But you know what they say? Any publicity,
Yeah. Yeah. No such thing as bad pub.
Speaking about that, did you see the guy? There's like ESPN announcer. I think he's broadcasting a college basketball game, and they show some women's basketball highlights. And then when they were done showing him, he was like, "All right, back to some actual basketball."
That's missing, and then here
Yeah.
comes Zen with two sexist things in a row, back
No,
to
it's
back
not.
weeks.
It's not funny. Like they have.
It's not funny. It's hilarious.
People losing their job over what they say isn't funny at all. And I don't think
it kind of is when you say some dumb shit. Like, I mean, come on, you're gonna say some shit like that, even if it's like, I don't care if it's some D3 basketball game. Like, somebody's gonna fucking clip it nowadays. Yeah. Well, either way, we got the Honda Classic, and then looking ahead, next week is a good one.
Oh, the Players?
No, Players is 2 weeks out. Players is like
that's what people are like saving up for. The Players.
Yeah, the Players is that's a big one. Arnold Palmer Invitational.
Arnold Palmer, half lemonade, half iced tea. We're gonna get it going.
And I'm pretty sure this is a designated event, so the boys will be there.
You think they serve Arnold Palmers there? Is that like a very popular drink at the tournament?
It's in the fucking coolers.
Is that a thing?
You could bet on it. The winner, they pour purple Gatorade or Arnold Palmer on you.
Arnold, I would go purple Gatorade again.
I'm going Arnold Palmer at the Arnold Palmer Invitational.
You were questioning my purple Gatorade pick too that day. I was like, no.
What'd I say? Blue?
You were like, no, lemon lime. Lemon lime was the favorite too.
I mean, who gets to choose? Who is like, what trainer is fucking like having Vegas whisper in their ear before the game? Is okay, I'll make it purple.
I think it's just random. They just grab whatever's available to them.
I think I said purple. Water was on there, right?
Yeah, clear.
I guess water. Need that. Just a little high quality H2O.
They drink all that during the game. Gatorade, I think players
need electrolytes.
Yeah, you can eat salt on your before the game. You don't need it during it.
Well, Gatorade too. Like, you drink too much, you just fucking get full.
You get full little.
Like it's gonna sit in your stomach more than like water.
Water, I think that's what you need.
Then you go to the blue tent, start pissing it out.
Is that what people do? Just piss in the blue tent?
I heard this story and Metcalf said he shit in it. like he got hit or something and he like already had to take a shit. And he's like, "Coach, I'm about to shit myself." And the staff like put up the blue tent. He literally shit.
And just a bucket?
Yeah, have a bucket? I think it was a bucket. That's what they asked him in the interview. Like, "What'd you shit in?" He's like, "A bucket."
Well, how do you wipe? Just towel?
Just on the defender. he was playing the Niners and fucking no, I don't know.
Just call the ref in there. Hey,
Yeah.
can you check this out? Get a ruling on this? Dang.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're
All
approaching
right.
that hour mark. I think
Yeah.
we have another solid podcast, another solid checkup podcast. I feel like this one a little more livelier than one last week.
Hey, we did it, and it's on a kind of a smaller week. Last Honda Classic ever, we got it in, but like you said, bigger week next week. Next couple weeks coming up.
Right. What we're gonna do here this time, I'm gonna turn down the good old
Yeah, I'm going to Fiverr and having a guy make us a fucking overlay. We'll just Joe Rogan. He doesn't even use anything. It just switches back. That's why you wanted to do that, huh? Because it switches back and forth.
yeah, switch it back and forth. That would have been cool. I think it's on Google Hangouts that we can do that.
Yeah. Well, all right, man. We gonna sign us out or what?
Yep, I got the outro music playing right now.
Wow. So that's what this week's edition.
This week's edition, we got some outro music, intro outro music. I needed my system set up here so I could like launch these two clips when I need to do. Like a little bit off. I don't like it.
Wait, what's a little off?
My clips here.
Oh, you made some clips?
Like the little things that I'm launching right now.
I can't see what you're watching.
Yeah, I know. It's too bad. You're just gonna one of these days you'll hear it. But thanks everyone checking this out. Later.